Materialization complete. Well, look who's been sleeping in my bed.
Yes, well, I'm sorry to be intruding like this. I got a little lost and...
Hey, the door to the office was kicked in.
Oh, I found it like that. You see...
Save your excuses. You've got 5 seconds to tell us why you broke into our office. If I don't like the story, I'm going to be very angry.
And I wouldn't like you when you're angry, eh?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait!
Who's that? Who else is in here?
Daniel? Come out.
Jays, what is all this? What are you doing here?
Well, I should think that was obvious. We're looking for some time to lease from you.
We were away. Why didn't you leave an appointment?
I don't trust computers to leave messages. I prefer a more personal touch.
So you kicked in our door. I'm going to call the authorities.
Now wait a minute, Gerald. Tell me, who knew you were coming here?
Just us.
Kurt, I must speak with you.
My head!
Heinrich?
I'm fine. I just need a moment. Keep an eye on them.
Okay, you three. Stand over there. Any movement and I'll shoot.
Kurt, there is a Time Lord in your presence.
A Time Lord? But how? How are they able to find us?
The turbulence you caused in the time stream with your transference. It must have been detected.
What should we do?
Bring him to me. I wish to learn more about this Time Lord. He seems familiar. Like I've tasted him before.
How? I can't get the shuttle at the moment.
Have him take you to the planet in his TARDIS. When you have done this, you may have his time capsule to study.
Yes, I'll do it right away. Get out of your time suit, Jer. I'll watch these three. We're going to take a little trip.
Really? I love travel. Broadens the mind.
I'm glad you have such a healthy attitude, Time Lord, because you're going to need it where you're going.
How'd you know he was a Time Lord?
You'll soon learn. I do have one other question, Time Lord. Do you know someone who goes by the name of the Doctor?
The doctor, why? That's him.
Nice slip, Dan.
Really? Well, this is a momentous occasion. After all this time, I'm finally face to face with the man who single-handedly destroyed my career. Well, Doctor, if you'll step this way, I'm sure we can answer all your questions. But first, we must make a quick trip to the planet Bovine.
I'm afraid I'm not terribly comfortable with your method of travel.
Oh, don't worry. We can take your TARDIS. This way, gentlemen. My lady.
At last, he is coming. A Time Lord. Full of life. Full of energy. With his very being and that of his time capsule. I'll have more than enough strength to escape the bonds of this desolate world. And once I do, I'll have revenge on the very beings who created me and put me in this prison. The Time Lords themselves.
Amazing. Truly amazing. This TARDIS of yours is incredible, Doctor.
Glad you appreciate it.
Most people think it's a piece of junk.
Most people are idiots, young lady.
No, wait a minute.
Dad, please. Cats. What cats? The name is ringing bells, but...
You still don't remember? It must seem like ages to you being a Time Lord, but for me it's only been about 3 years. 3 long years of planning and waiting.
I'm sorry, but it must have been some time for me.
Space Station J7, Administrator Dastari.
Dastari? Joinson Dastari? I remember now.
I knew it was only a matter of time until you did.
That's a really bad pun.
You and Reimer were working on a time travel device on that station. Dastari was the head of projects there.
Yes, and you were responsible for the station being destroyed. You and your people, the Time Lords.
What? Is this true, Doctor?
Of course it is. The Time Lords didn't like the idea of anyone else mastering time and put a stop to it. They attacked the station and killed everyone. All the data on time travel was wiped from the memory banks. The Doctor was in charge of the operation.
Doctor!
Dad, do be sensible. There's no such thing. I remember now. It was some time ago. 5 or 6 years back, I think.
What?
I'll explain to you later.
I was on the station at the request of the Time Lords. They were concerned about Kurtz and Reimer's experiments in time.
Concern.
You were causing massive damage to the time stream, even as you are now with that haphazard jumping. A Bocher scale readings alone are proof enough.
And so you tried to have us killed?
I did not! The station was attacked by some Taurans. They were working with someone on board. They wanted to use your research in time travel for their own gains. but they needed a Time Lord to help them. They knew that one was eventually going to come investigate, and they got me.
I like this story.
But wait a minute. The doctor supposedly killed everyone. Why are you here?
We were on station at the time.
Reimer and I were on Earth answering questions about our activities before an investigative committee.
So how'd you know the doctor was involved?
When we returned to the station and found it a wreck, the station's log filled in all the details. We told her how the doctor visited and objected to our experiments.
Didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what happened then.
That's ridiculous!
Why? We were on the verge of breaking the secrets to time. The Time Lords have long figured themselves to be the guardians of time.
That's not true!
Then why did they send you to look into our work in the first place?
Now look, this isn't getting us anywhere. If all your time studies and equipment were missing, then how did you get in this time brokering business?
Yes. Where are you getting your energy requirements from? A loan would cost...
The committee was not satisfied with our reasoning behind the experiments and revoked our funding. With no money and our own data missing, we were back to square one. We needed money, so we set about hiring ourselves out as theorists and historians. We joined one survey team to the planet Bovan, here in the system.
It's an uninhabited world. A great civilization once thrived there. The team was there to determine if the planet was suitable for colonization. Our job was to find out what it was that destroyed them.
Our approach to the planet was met by a tremendous magnetic surge. The ship went down, crashing in the desert. Most of those on board died. It was there that our fortune changed.
How?
I think I'd rather leave that bit of information for the end, Doctor. Adds a little suspense to the proceedings, don't you think?
No.
How much longer is this going to take? Reimer and I would have been on the surface of the planet by now if we jumped ourselves.
That's because of the shortcuts you took in coming up with the energy conversion equations for time jump. Doing so, you've been causing havoc to the temporal vortex.
Nothing major, I'm sure, or else the Time Lords would have investigated by now, correct?
I don't know how they could have missed you.
I'm sure the Krenak had something to do with that. Eh, Heinrich?
Krennic.
Reimer!
You say... Krennic?
Reimer, you idiot!
What's wrong, Doctor?
Got to get us away from here.
You'll stay away from the controls, please, Doctor. Yes, we are taking you to meet the Krenak.
No.
Doctor, you're turning white as a sheet. Is the Krenak so bad?
Bad. Bad! Daniel, it's one of the purest manifestations of evil to ever exist.
There, in the vortex, I can sense it. It's coming. The energy, the life within it. Incredible. I must make sure that it cannot slip away. Careful. Reach out and feel its being. Caress it. Take it all in. There. It's all mine now.
That was a strange landing.
Something was draining power from the TARDIS as we materialized.
What a desolate-looking place.
Yes, imagine having to spend our eternity here.
We never found out what it was that destroyed this world.
The Krenak would seem an obvious answer.
You know a great deal about the Krenak, Doctor.
Krenak was a creature of legend, like Omega and Rassilon himself.
Omega, Doctor?
Another great Time Lord, like Rassilon. Anyway, legend has it that the Krenak was a life eater, literally absorbing your very soul.
But it was a legend, right, Doctor?
In all my travels there, I've learned that every legend has a germ of fact to it. Otherwise, where would the legend come from? In time, though, the legend became more a fairy tale, than just a story to scare misbehaving children. You know, boogeyman of sorts.
Quite right, Doctor. But the Krenak is real, and it waits for you.
The rest of your expedition, they were killed by the Krenak.
That's right. But the Krenak spared myself and Reimer. It sensed an almost kindred spirit in us. Curious beings who want to study the paths of time.
But the Krenak wants to do more than study time cards.
Yes, well, it must survive, Doctor. It is unique, like myself and Reimer.
You certainly are unique.
The Krenak gave us the equations needed to crack the time barrier in the crude way that we do so now. It promised us all the secrets of time in return for enough life essence to escape this mudball.
And how does the time brokerage fit into all this?
In order to obtain these life essences, we created our agency. Rich, idle people wanting a kick in their lives would come to us and lease out a particular time and space, usually one that was on the dangerous side, such as the Wild West in the 1800s.
The only payment we required was the life essence. They signed the contracts, some thinking they would not live longer than 50 years. Others actually thought the brokerage would go out of business in less time.
They never took into account that any offspring they had counted in that contract.
Or the simple matter of us nipping off into their future to collect on their debt.
Evil. Simply evil.
Not evil, Doctor, just business. All perfectly legal, in fact. That way we are absolved from murder.
I doubt your victims would feel the same way.
Well, I'm certain we could argue that philosophical gem, but you have an appointment to keep. This way.
The Time Lord, you have come.
Yes, no thanks to Sacco and Vansetti here.
I do not understand, Doctor. If you are referring to Cots and Reimer, they have served a very needed purpose, drawing a Time Lord out into the open for me.
You mean you wanted the Time Lord to find you? What about all that stuff about keeping the Time Lords at bay?
That is true, but I sense this particular Time Lord is one who does not work alongside his peers, but rather travels the vortex, alone.
He's got me!
Yes, you will make a most tasty morsel. You are young, vital.
Krennic! Leave her alone. She has nothing to do with this.
Oh, but she has everything to do with this, Doctor. She, you, the male earthling, even Carlton Reimer.
Wait a minute, what's he talking about?
Don't panic, Reimer. This is talking about our role in all this. Now that we've completed our side of the bargain, we'll be off, taking our TARDIS with us.
I don't think so, Katz.
Sorry, Doctor, but the Krennic and I have an understanding. Tell him.
No,
What? What do you mean, no?
we do not have an understanding. In fact, we never had anything. You used me for your own means, to obtain the secrets of time.
We used each other. You benefited as much as we did.
This arrangement has not benefited me until now. Do you think I wasn't on to your plan? You fed me scraps of energy, enough to keep me alive, in the hopes of getting the secrets of time from me, without ever releasing me.
You were only giving us snippets to work with. Most of what we were doing, traveling the vortex to where we were, was dangerous.
Did you really think I would let you have free reign of the time stream?
And the TARDIS?
Is mine. No, that's not fair. We've earned that. We...
Doctor, it's horrible!
There's only dust left.
Krennic is much more efficient than the life-absorbing weapons of those two. It takes every ounce of energy that a person has, including the very ionic bond energy that holds the cells of the body together.
I am glad you appreciate it, Doctor. For now it is your turn.
I wouldn't be so quick, Krennic. You can't enter the TARDIS without my help.
I can see the truth of this in your mind, Doctor. What do you suggest?
I'll give you free reign of the TARDIS's energy if you give us a sporting chance to make a run for it.
There's no place on this dead world you can hide, Doctor. I'll detect your life essences.
Then you have nothing to lose then, eh?
Agreed.
One question. How is it you wound up on this dead world?
I would think you knew the answer to that, Doctor. I was placed here by the Time Lords as punishment for absorbing one of their own. It was through him that I learned all the secrets of time. Rassilon, however, was able to subdue me, and I have been imprisoned here ever since.
Legends tell of how Rassilon dealt with you.
But do the legends tell of how it was Rassilon who created me?
That's a lie!
No, Doctor, it is not. Rassilon created me. A genetic mistake is what he called me.
Rassilon. Can't be.
Yes, Doctor. I know, because when Rassilon tried to capture me, I fought back.
Legends tell of how Rassilon easily defeated you.
It was not that easy. I had Rassilon in my embrace and was draining his life essence. Suddenly, a young Time Lord distracted me, and that's when he took me. Doctor, are you a descendant of Rassilon?
Me? No.
Odd. I sense the same strong energy patterns from you as I did from him ages ago. no matter. Now, unless you have any other questions, shall we take this to your TARDIS?
Follow me.
Doctor, you're not going to let that thing have the TARDIS, are you?
I don't know what I'm going to do, Dara. Now, remember your promise.
Of course, Doctor. I shall need a little time to rest after taking on such a bountiful creature as the TARDIS.
Yes, well, shall we begin? Powering up.
Do not try anything, Doctor, or I shall destroy you immediately.
No tricks, Crannock. Can you feel the power flowing into you?
Yes, yes, I must have more, more.
More, you say? I think I can arrange that.
I can feel it, the power, my senses, dormant for so many eons. It's all coming back to me.
Crannock, have you ever heard the old saying, the eyes were bigger than the stomach?
What? What's this? Increasing the power, Doctor? You are a fool. I'll become even more powerful.
Would you believe too powerful?
What's happening? The power surging. I can't control the flow. It's becoming too much for me to process. Doctor, slow it down.
What? And deny you a meal that's fit for a king?
I can't stop it. I can't disconnect. Doctor, let me go.
Sorry, Krennic. I've got to take advantage of that head start you offered me and my companions.
Come back here, Doctor. I'll destroy you. I'll destroy you all.
There, Daniel, run for cover!
Doctor, what's happening?
Down, girl! That creature's on fire!
Look out! That was a close one.
Doctor,
Yes?
is it safe to step out?
What? Oh, yes, of course.
The creature's gone.
Nice bit of work, that.
But Doctor, the TARDIS is gone too. It was destroyed.
Destroyed? Do you think so? There, you should know better than that. Come on. I think it's time we're getting out of here.
What I don't understand, Doctor, is how you're able to destroy the Krenak.
Simple. The Krennic was like an energy storage unit or a battery. It had a certain capacity and I just flooded it. Couldn't handle the strain and exploded.
And the TARDIS?
I was working on the HARDS, remember? It dematerialized to avoid the explosion, then reappeared.
I mean, you actually got it working?
Don't be so surprised.
Well, Doctor, I must admit you certainly lead an interesting life. I don't suppose you care for some extra company?
Well, I'm sure you'll have enough to do, Daniel, helping to tame the West. Space isn't the only wild frontier, you know.
Speaking of Earth, what am I going to tell the sheriff when I get back? I mean, it's not like he's gonna believe that people from the stars were responsible for what happened to the Hanson family?
No, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll have you home in no time.
Are you sure?
Dara.
Hello, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. All done with your studies?
Yes, but, there's one small problem. I can't seem to find my way back to the console room.
Can't find your...
It's not funny.
Not from where you're standing, I'm sure. But from here, it's hysterical.
Amusingly ironic, actually. The navigator, after studying advanced navigation, is lost.
Fine, I'll find my own way.
Hang on. We're on our way.
What an unusual man.